Danny Stewart joins us on Panthers TV. Danny, I wonder, just with one game this weekend, you've had quite a lot of action, midweek action recently. How good has it been to really fine-tune your prep for a full week for one game? How important's that been?
Yeah, it's been good. We obviously had the Christmas stretch where you don't get a lot of practice time in, and then we followed that up with the 3-3 and then a stretch of 5 and 8 games. So yeah, practice time is kind of, I don't want to say fallen by the wayside, but in those practices you're just trying to touch on a few details, but obviously give the guys a quick flush and keep them fresh. So. Yeah, no, it's been good. We've had a couple days here now to prepare for Cardiff, and we'll have another one tomorrow, and get ready for a big game.
I guess nothing beats playing. I remember Ottawa Senators playoff run. I'm a Sens fan. Years ago, where I remember the coach saying, "We're just playing. We're not really practicing. The game's coming thick and fast," and he found that was fine. But our practice is important maybe if there's just something you want to fine-tune and get better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't disagree with what you said. I think, the players, especially at this time of year, this league, when you're kind of 3-4 practices a week and then playing on the weekends, that can get a bit like Groundhog Day, over time. So when you disrupt that schedule and that routine and you're playing midweek and games and, you're in and out, I think guys enjoy it because at the end of the day, they want to play games. But in saying that, certain areas of your game sometimes fall by the wayside. And, recently we've, for the most part, our power play has been good this year, but the last kind of 3-4 weeks, I don't want to say sputtered. We just haven't been able to find that end product, and certainly some more practice time allows you to kind of fine-tune those things and try to get on top of them.
Last weekend's win saw you move up to third. If you saw win in Cardiff, you would go second. How much of a statement is that for this team if that were to happen?
I think, standings aside, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's important, and that's, that would be really good, but I think it's more the fact that, again, we're getting in the back half of the season. They're big games against teams you're challenging with, and going into their rink and winning a hockey game, that's more of a statement than, where you are in the standings temporarily. Because, it's so close right now with the standings that, one bad stretch of a weekend or two can drop you 2 or 3 places, or it can, climb you 2 or 3 places. So we're just taking it one game at a time. But, certainly it's a big game for us. We all the guys recognize that, the importance of it, and going in there and getting 2 points would be huge for us.
A couple of the guys in recent interviews have said every game right now feels like a playoff game. Is that something you relate to?
Yeah. No, I think we've been talking about that since kind of after Christmas, when we came back in and, had those bunch of games. And that's just the way this league is set up. I'm sure every team will be saying the same thing in some capacity. Some teams, trying to still push for the league title, some trying to push for top 4, some trying to push for playoff positioning. So there's always something to play for, and if all else, pride. So these teams are geared up whenever you're going into their barns, especially and when you're at home. So every game's tough from here on in.
And just looking back at that win in Manchester, it's a cliche, I know it is, but it's hard to go into Manchester, especially to put in a perfect performance like that and get a shutout. What does it say about your team that you can go into a rink like that and be so good?
Yeah, I think it kind of shows our discipline. And discipline in playing the right way in that rink, because you can go in there and try to play maybe at home we play a little bit more speed and skill and fast pace, and I'm not saying we don't play that in Manchester, but you got to really dumb your game down, if that makes sense, and go to hard areas and make hard plays and simple plays. You don't have as much time on the puck, so you gotta be connected off and on the puck. And we've done a really good job in the smaller rinks this year. Obviously we had a shutout in Coventry as well, 2 shutouts in Manchester this year as well. So we've really done a good job at managing those situations, up until this point.
And your home form as well. Like, one of the things that stuck with me when you first signed, it might have been in your first interview, you said you want to make the Motorport Arena a fortress, and you pretty much have this season. Your home form has been really good. How important has that been to the successful season we're having?
Massively. You want other teams to come in here, and not like coming here. It's and it's been important. I think it's a two-way street. I think the players have played well at home, but I think the atmosphere in the rink this year year has just been unbelievable, and I think that has really, played its part in our success at home as well.
Well, you mentioned the atmosphere, and it kind of relates to the question I feel like we're talking about a lot at the moment about scoring in bunches. But do those two kind of go hand in hand? And I think it may have been Matt Alfaro or Tim Doherty who talked post game recently, and Jono asked him the question and said, "Yeah, we feed off that energy." Those two, it's like they go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think, like I said, it's electric in here when you get one, especially at the right time. A big goal, and it just sends the building off and the energy. And yeah, you could see it on the bench. I see these guys, they get, they get up and they get excited, and you can see it, the next face off, they're on their toes and they're ready to go. And yeah, it's exciting. Like I said, it's been phenomenal. It's fun playing at home this year.
Brilliant, Danny. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.